Well, thank you, Dolores, so much. I'm so happy to be with you. Dolores is such an important member of our community, and it's great to have you here. When I was very, very young, my father was the Attorney General of the United States at the height of the Civil Rights Movement, and thank you. And my parents really did not separate their work life from their home life, so there were always civil rights activists coming to our house and being with us on the weekends and for dinner. And we also often went to the Justice Department to visit my father. My mother would pile 6 or 7 kids into the back of her convertible with a couple of dogs and a football. And we would head down to the Justice Department, and we would see my father for a little while. And then our favorite thing was to go down to the basement of the Justice Department, and there was a secret passage, and we would pretend we were spies, and we'd go over to the FBI building and watch the sharpshooters at practice, which was great fun. And now, at that time, J. Edgar Hoover was the head of the FBI, and he was a man who is not known for his sense of humor or his love of children. And they had a suggestion box in the bottom of the FBI building, and so my mother one day took out her telltale red pen and wrote a suggestion and put it into that suggestion box. And then she gathered up all those children and dogs and the football and brought us back to my father. Meantime, a very astute FBI agent saw her put that suggestion in and went and picked it out of the suggestion box and brought it up to J. Edgar Hoover, who read it and thought it should be delivered immediately to my father's office. So at the moment that we were sort of walking back in, he was reading the suggestion, and the suggestion read, "Get a new director." And this was a very early lesson to me in the importance of speaking truth to power. Another time that I went to visit my father, he wrote me a letter, which I have on my wall at home, and it says, "Dear Kerry, today was a historic day, not only because of your visit, but because a few hours ago, over the objection of the governor, 3 Negroes were allowed to register at the University of Alabama. It happened just a few minutes ago, and I hope by the time you get your pretty little head to college, these events are long past." When I got my pretty little head to college, I took a history course. We studied World War I, and there was something that was left out. We never learned that from 1915 to 1923, 1.5 million people were slaughtered by the Ottoman Empire on the eve of World War I. And 30 years later, on August 22nd, 1936, in preparation for the invasion of Poland, Adolf Hitler stated to Göring, quote, "Who, after all, speaks today of the annihilation of the Armenians?" What better argument is there for studying the Holocaust and the important work that you do today? It is only through learning and remembering past atrocities that we are able to prevent them in the future. And do we become a more humane society? And that's what this organization does. You do it for all the people in the past, and you do it for the next generation. And teaching the Holocaust is about honoring suffering and valuing bravery and preventing genocide. But it also means teaching our children not only about the past, but about how they are going to act in their lives, and talking to them about the 4 groups of people who were in the Holocaust in Germany and who are always found in mass atrocities. Those are the perpetrators, the victims, the bystanders, and the defenders. And I think our aim is to take kids who might be bystanders and make them into defenders. That's what we want. And I'm going to end with a poem. And I'm reading this poem to you because it's one of my favorite poems, and I think it's reflective of this work, and it's so important during this election season. It's by Langston Hughes, and he said, "Let America be America again, the land that has not been yet, and yet must be, the land where everyone is free, the poor man's, Indians, Negroes, me, who made America, whose sweat and blood, whose faith and pain, whose hand at the foundry, whose plow in the rain must bring back our mighty dream again. We, the people, must redeem our land, our mines, our mountains, and the endless plain, all the stretch of these great green states, and make America, America again." Thank you very much.